gon' do this smooth. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I like praising them cool.
Hey, how you doing, guys? It's KL Belvin, and it is Sunday, January 22nd. And I wanted to give you a little word this morning. And that word is God doesn't want any punks lined up in his camp. So yes, being a Christian does not mean being a punk. Now, I'm not saying punk in terms of homosexuality or anything like that. That's not what this message is about. I'm saying punk in the terms of being soft, scared, or anything that has to do with being weak. Because to be a Christian is far from being weak. Now, that also means you're not boastful, you're not braggadocious, you're not making it all about you as most punks would. And so you really have to understand where I'm coming from in term punk. To be a Christian and to stand for God and to believe in God, you have to be strong. When people come at you and say, how can you believe in something that you can't see? You got to be brave enough to hold your convictions, not convince them. You got to be strong enough just to be able to make people believe that you believe. See, I don't have to go out and explain why God exists. I just have to explain why I believe that he does. Because if I try to explain that God exists, we could debate all day. But you know what? It doesn't matter. When you look at the stories in the scriptures, each individual that had to face their own particular situation, you see the strength that was needed to be what they were going to be for the Lord. And take your pick. David is the classic example, of course. You know, when he slew Goliath, he had this little dude grab some rocks. But what people don't pay attention to is that long before he got on the battlefield, he was pissed that the men of Israel wasn't even doing anything. Like, why are we letting him speak like this? So he was ready. Clearly no punk. When you look at Peter, Peter grabbed his sword, was ready. Jesus even had to tell him, put your sword away. But he didn't say stop being brave. He just said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, meaning that that's not the way that a Christian fights. Meaning we don't physically fight. We fight spiritually. We allow God to render the judgment, but we stand our ground on what we believe. So there's so many examples of men and women standing their ground on their faith, where being a punk can't fall in line. Being soft for God can't fall in line. Because there's no way. Now let's bring it to ordinary situations. When you're on your job and something is said, it takes bravery to stand up and be the only person to go, I don't agree with that. Or, I don't accept that. It takes bravery when you see something wrong and you step up and you're the person that says, that's what happened. Now, some would call you a snitch, some would say whatever. But it takes bravery to say that you're standing on what God says is right, not what the masses say is right. So anybody watching today, if you just got out of church or you didn't go to church today or whatever, remember, being a Christian can't be no punk. God doesn't want punks. Because think about it. If you're out here nervous, scared, boastful, all those things, well then you're leading people to believe that that's acceptable in the sight of God, which it's not. And God doesn't want us to be scared of anything. Now, of course, as humans, we do. But we have to make sure that when we're out and about and people are paying attention to the things that we do, that we represent God in the best light we can. And that's just being stand up and strong for what we believe in. So remember, being a Christian, don't be no punk. Can't be. The two don't line up. Christian and punk, can't even put it in the same terms. Listen, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I know you probably went to church today, so you ain't trying to hear another sermon, but it's just something that the Lord put on my spirit when I was laying down, and maybe it's because I ain't getting enough sleep. Who knows? I just felt that today because I think too often we got a lot of folks who believe that they're Christians, but then they're scared to step up and really do the things that a Christian is supposed to. And one has be no punk. Have a great day. It's KL Belvin. God bless.
We gon' do this smooth. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I like praising them cool like this. Yeah. Sometimes I like praising them smooth